Alright, welcome to the Cathedral of the Deep part of the playthrough. Picking up right where we left off. Last time I was here, we talked to Gale and went into the DLC. And we're gonna come right back here and head out and do the Cathedral of the Deep now. Before we head out, it is definitely a good idea to get a torch in your offhand. Dealing with the enemies that are coming up, they spit maggots at you, and by taking out a torch you can get the maggots off of you. And when you attack them with fire, it stuns them for a good amount of time. It makes it far easier to kill them. So go ahead and come right out this door and head up the hill by this monument, and off to the right we'll go out the hole in the rocks, drop down into the water area, and here is one of those creatures right here. Hit him with the torch to stun them, and then hit him with your regular weapon. Don't go up there, just keep going forward in the water. You're gonna want to face these guys one at a time, so if you see them grouped up, just give the one closest to you a second to come back your direction, so you don't get too far ahead and get both of them attacking you at the same time. There's another miracle casting item. And whether they jump or crawl at you, you want to initiate the fight by rolling and then attacking. Oh, see? Did not roll in time. It seems like their very first attack is comes out fairly quickly, and if you try and hit them immediately, you'll get hit by their first attack regardless, so you're going to want to dodge and then attack. Follow this around to the right, head up the steps. We don't need the torch right now. Quietly walk around by this tree to pick up a Titanite shard, and then we're gonna sneak up on this crystal lizard. And keep following the path. There will be another crystal lizard up ahead, as well as a giant crystal lizard. So as I run at this crystal lizard, I'm going to veer off to the left to make it swerve to the right, so I can get a clean shot on it without aggroing the giant crystal lizard. And then I'm going to head back, and we're going to go up the hill, or the stairs right here, and pick up, I believe it's one more Titanite shard. Yeah. Hop down and let's take on the large crystal lizard. And if you've been following this up until now, you know I'm going for the lawn door ending, the hollow lawn door ending. So don't forget, if you've died at all and are starting to hollow, make sure you get those free level ups from Yule at Firelink Shrine. And you want to get all 5 before you beat the Abyss Watchers. If you don't finish leveling up with him before killing the Abyss Watchers, he'll leave and it'll close out that ending. You won't be able to do it. So anyways, up the steps right here to the left, that's the end of this little area, like side area of the cleansing, the Cathedral of the Deep. If you need to at all, hit the bonfire to refill your Estus. run straight back out and head out the other direction this time, past the through the graveyard. Still got my torch in my other hand, ready to go. The all of the, I guess I'm gonna call them zombies, because there's already undead here in the game, and I think this is probably the closest thing to zombies we got. They spit the maggots at you as well. But anyway, shit. Okay, so I should have been saying something. Coming through the gate and head left up the hill. Yeah, it was right there. Up to the left of the hill, and right here, I picked up the Astora Greatsword. Yeah, the Astora Greatsword. It's like an Ultra Greatsword, not just a Greatsword. It's a really good one. Has really good scaling and a good moveset. If you've been looking for a good Ultra Greatsword up until this point, that one is definitely worth upgrading. And keep following the path around. Stay up on the ledge until you come to the end here. We're gonna drop down, and as soon as we start picking up these items, all these guys laying here are gonna wake up. So we're gonna run as soon as we can. And I just got the Executioner Greatsword. Ay, fuck. Which is another really good regular Greatsword. It's not an Ultra Greatsword. Ah, get the hell out of my way. And run to the left. Stay to the left. Until you come to this bridge. We're gonna head right across the bridge, and we're just gonna run right past these guys. And we're going to encounter our first Grave Warden. This is the enemy you can get the Grave Warden twin blades from, which are probably the best bleed weapon in the game. They're really good. One of my favorite weapons, honestly. So it drops its armor set, it drops Titanite shards, it drops blood red moss, and it drops the Grave Warden twin blades. You can, if you want the Grave Warden twin blades at this point, you could definitely farm that one in particular, because we're going to open up a shortcut right here. It's a little bit of a run, so if I were to farm it from here, I would take the shortcut, kill the Grave Warden, and then just use a homeward bone to return to the bonfire. And I just want to show you where the shortcut is. So it's this comes out right around where we picked up the Saint Tree Belvine Miracle Casting in the water here. Look familiar? So you would head out, drop out the hole in the cliff, and then just come up the first stairs to the right, and then head up the ladder. The long ladder. And I have been leveling up off camera, if anyone was curious. Here's my stats. I got my dex up enough to use the Black Bow of Ferris. I focus more on strength, and all other points just vigor and endurance. I haven't put... Oh, I did put a few points into luck when I was farming a little bit of stuff, and I plan on taking those out of luck and putting them somewhere else later on. You can respec with one of the NPCs in this area towards the end of it. Alright, so I'm inserting this clip into this part of the walkthrough. I totally spaced and left out a small section of the Cathedral, the Deep. Even though it's small, it holds some important items, so I'm coming back down. So before you go up these stairs, we want to go back down this way and to the left, to this small lower part over here. And be careful of these guys. They are definitely weak to fire. So if you hit them with your torch, you'll have plenty of time to take them out. And so down the stairs and to the left hand side, where you do want to kill the guy that was standing here first. And then on this gravestone overhanging the edge is an undead bone shard. And we got some more repair powder here. And then all around the white birch tree is, of course, the young white branches. And by picking up the last of the branches off this tree, so we did the undead settlement where we picked up the branches from there, and then also in the swamp of Farron Keep we picked up the white branches there. This is the last white birch tree there is, at least until you get into the Ring City DLC, where there's just like a random one for some reason that doesn't affect the giant at all. There's no arrows there, but so yeah, so we'll pick up the last of the branches here, and that completes all the white birch trees. At this point, since you've taken all the branches from the trees, the giant will fall over and die. I'm guessing because we've taken away all purpose of his life. Shooting people with arrows that threaten the trees, I guess, is his purpose in life. So, and we'll head up to the tower where the giant was shooting the arrows from later and collect a ring that he drops. So, all right. So that's pretty much it. That's all we needed to cover. Totally sorry I spaced coming down here, but I'm inserting it in so you will not miss it. Alright, after that, we'll head up these stairs and continue on. And those doors will be locked, so we'll head off to the left where there's a dead end and an item. Some good old rusted coins. And then head off to the right. It's the only direction you can go. Oh yeah. And there is a guy up in the window with a crossbow who will relentlessly just keep shooting at you. It's a pain in the ass. I'm gonna dump the torch at this point. I do not need it anymore. So we're gonna take out the crossbow guy first. There we go. Might as well aggro this guy and get him a little bit closer to us. Once you go down into here, oh, he's taking his time. So there's a guy off to the right that's sleeping. Kill him right away. And there'll be a couple of guys that climb up the side of the rails. I think one on the right and one on the left. Or, well, there's one. There you go. And maybe just one, I guess. I swear another one, but oh well. Alright. And obviously that's a dead end, so walk out onto this area. And before you head up, take this scaffolding off to the right and kill this guy, so you don't get attacked from behind. There's going to be various regular enemies like this throughout here, and then there's thralls that are on the walls that will drop down as you go along. Yeah, here's a couple of guys on the rails. Alright, I'm gonna take care of these thralls. At least it only takes one hit. That'll make this much easier. Oh, you fucks. That is so annoying. And yeah, there's 3 crossbow guys down here. So we're just gonna make a run for it. I can't believe they fucking started shooting already. Alright. And just take them out as quickly as you can. Alright, and up these stairs to the right hand side is... I think that is some red bug pellets to increase your fire damage defense. Don't get that yet. And then off to this side is... let's see. Not the undead hunter charms, but the other charms that take away someone's buff. And coming over here honestly isn't really worth it. Fighting all these guys plus Evangelist lady, I can say it right, isn't really worth it, but let's do it just to do it. Oh, you fucking piece of shit. I did not know they threw those at you. At least right here. It's... oh, god damn you, cunt. She's pretty hard to face when you don't have any room to maneuver around her, so yeah, undead hunter charms. Wait, are those the exact same ones we have? Alright, I lied. They're just the regular undead hunter charms that you should already have at this point. I thought they were the gold ones. Gold colored ones. Well, whatever. It's not worth going up there and getting them at all. Alright, so we're going to take this next little area slowly. We want to wait for the guy with the halberd to come closer to us, and we want to fight him down here before we head forward, because there is a large group of thralls inside the doorway to the left there, and they go berserk as soon as you get close to it. Oh, nice. And to combat the very quick ambush that they do, I'm going to get a fireball ready, and I'm going to start throwing it even before I come around to the door. So as I walk up to the door, I'm going to hit the button to start throwing it. So as I'm going through the animation of throwing it, I'm going to head around the corner, and then immediately as my character comes around the corner, he'll be throwing the fire, or she'll be throwing the fireball. Well, that didn't work at all, did it? There we go. And 2 more. I swear, that's how I always do it, and it works every time. It stops the one that immediately tries to hit you inside the doorway. I don't know, maybe I'm just trying too hard because I'm making a walkthrough and it's just not working out the way I normally do it. I don't know. Alright, kill every guy that is not paying attention to what's going on. And then go up these immediate steps that were to our left. And you'll see a couple of thralls that were waiting to ambush us. Take them out easily, and then grab the red bug pellets that we skipped over just a moment ago. And now, as soon as we head up the next stairway, we're going to face two of the grave wardens. Okay, perfect. I'm going to pop a coin as I go up, because I do want the weapon. Hopefully that's enough to get it at this point. Might have to come back later. No luck yet. And nothing. Alright, two more guys are going to come down the stairs. They're going to be the suicide bombers, so just be ready for them. And there's one more sitting off to the left. If you keep on walking and leave him, he'll get up and suicide bomb you from behind. These doors do open, but we're going to skip them and come over here and get all these guys' attention. There's one of the tall guys with the great axe hiding behind a wall at the end of the pathway here. So I was throwing fire bombs to get these guys' attention and draw them closer. So I don't have to fight them all one-on-one, or so I don't have to fight them all at once. You fucking piece of shit. I swear, like, when the regular guys attack you and they like thrust they thrust their sword so far in front of them that they can hardly even handle the weight of it, and they do it while you're not looking, or in your back and whatnot, and it just feels like a fucking sucker punch. It just feels so cheap. Anyway, so here's the first giant of the area. There's another giant off to the right hand side around the corner. If you're a pyromancer, you can actually kill him right here fairly easily. Just throw something at him to get him to stand up, and he will start attacking here. But if you stay really close to him, he'll reach both hands straight out and just swat straight down with them, and ride it and just roll and stay in the front, and you can dodge them extremely easily and just keep throwing fireballs directly into his face, and he'll dive really quickly. Let's see. So the slimes that we run into are weak to fire. I did not need to throw a second one. And we're gonna grab this item and find out something wonderful about this statue. It drops poison. A lot of the statues do drop the poison out of them. Not all of them though. So we got 3 deacons right here in this room. They all can shoot fireballs as well as melee attack. Use the table in the middle as a buffer zone so you don't get hit with fireballs from the other ones as you're attacking one of them. And there's a shortcut right here to our left. Before we take the shortcut, let's head down and complete this little section. Might as well use our Estus. We'll be refilling it very soon. Alright, and all it is one small dead end with the Evangelicist right here. So we'll quietly walk up behind her And we'll get a good charged R2 in. Oh. Yeah. Hey, and get some gloves. And a deep gem. And you can take a look over the ledge, and there's like a hole of nothingness. It kind of reminds me of the abyss from the DLC from Dark Souls 1 a little bit. I believe this is a look at the deep, which is what this cathedral is worshipping, I believe. There's not too many spots like this. It's definitely, I mean, it's not noted anywhere that this is the deep, but it's kind of the only spot where there is anything like that, where you have like one of these enemies just hanging out and overlooking it. Because I mean, it is like an area to step out and just kind of look down at the emptiness. But I digress. All right, back up. We'll unlock the shortcut. And before we get to the top of the stairs, there is a slime that's going to drop down. So let's just walk up slowly towards the end. This thing used to get me every time, but finally started remembering it was here. Alright, take the elevator down. And just follow the path around. You have to open the door to the bonfire as well. And there's no reason not to sit at it. We're not going back into the area we already have been through. Alright, we're going to take on the giant right here and now. Get his attention, and let's switch to a bow. And make sure that we're not fat rolling, because we're going to be dodging a few of his attacks. So come out, get your shot ready to go, aim for his face as best you can, and then back up, let him hit. I just come out, I take a shot, and then I take cover. I try to only do one shot at a time. As long as you hit him in the face, it'll go pretty quickly. His body takes very little damage, but if you hit him right in the face, it is much better, much stronger of an attack. We already got him over halfway down. In fact, I mean, you can shoot him from here too. Yeah, it's just not as... doesn't work as well. It's not as effective, is what I was gonna say. Just back and forth, one shot at a time. Come on, let's get a good headshot. That's all we need is one more face shot. Damn it. There we go. He drops a good amount of souls too. 4,400. That's pretty good for right now. He also drops a large Titanite shard, which will be down there. We'll make our way that way. So the giants always drop one large Titanite shard when you kill them. They do not respawn. And we will have a chance to hit the bonfire again before going down there, I believe. Or Yeah, I mean technically yeah, but I mean the other shortcut is on this side at the bottom. So pretty much make sure you grab that large titanite shard um, before refreshing, because if you refresh the area it'll disappear. Whoa. Yeah. So we're gonna run by these guys, run into the stairway. They'll drop down. We can come back and kill them. Come on, jump down. Nice. There he goes. And you do want to kill the crossbow guy right here, because eventually we're going to be down there, and if you leave him up here, he will shoot at you while you're down there. And he's just an annoying little shit. Alright, stop at this halfway point and turn left. Now there's going to be multiple thralls hiding, ready to climb up as we go along this bridgeway. So just be ready to deal with them. And then when you try and grab this item, which is a miracle, the slime's going to drop on your head, so we're just going to throw a fireball at him, kill him while he's on the ceiling, and then you get the Seek Guidance miracle, which lets you see more messages and more people's signs if they're looking for co-op. One thing that's really cool about the Seek Guidance miracle is when you cast it, there is hidden developer messages sporadically through the world that you can read. It'll let you in a little more in on the lore. Alright, up the ladder, then evangelist. Got a little more space to fight her right here, so it shouldn't be too much trouble at this point. And there's one single item right around here. Now head back down the ladder and then continue on our way. And there's a chest coming up that is a mimic. Don't run up to it and open it. We want to hit it with an undead hunter charm. I mean, you can get the item and then just leave it. You don't have to kill him, but if you killed the very first one in Lothric, it might be a good idea to leave this one here. You definitely want to leave one somewhere, because you're gonna want the Soul of Avarice, or the Symbol of Avarice helmet. It increases your souls gained by, I believe it's more than the ring, so it's probably 20%, because I think the ring is 10%, and it increases your item discovery by 100. It is the best item to wear while you're trying to get rare drops out of enemies, so you definitely want one in the game. Even if you don't think you're gonna farm anything, I bet you'll change your mind later on. Alright, so once we get past that, come into here. We're gonna face our first Cathedral Knight. This one has a mace and a shield. The best way to deal with him is dodge his attacks, of course, but when he raises his shield up and like when you're hitting him and he blocks it with his shield, that's pretty much the best time to deal with him. So he'll be blocking and you just keep attacking his shield and you will guard break him and you can get the repost in. That's the easiest way that I've found to deal with him. I'm sure, and I'm sure you can get backstabs in as well. So it's going straight into attacking. Oh, get some. There we go. Just like that. Yeah, just wait till he starts blocking your attacks and just wail on him, and you'll get that guard break. Through this door, there is this, like, spider beast furry thing that drops down from the ceiling. Its attacks cause curse buildup, so not only can it kill you with its attacks, it can also curse you and have you instantly die. So we're gonna head in, circle around, and just walk back out. There, we are in safety. We're a good safe distance away. It can't reach us where we're at right now, and so we let it drop down while we're still safe, and we'll sneak up on it and get a hit in. The best way to deal with it is to hit it in the head, and that will stun it, and you can get a repost in. Of course, you have to get a few hits in. Oh yeah, and he also sprays the same gas that the basilisks use. I mean, you can shoot arrows at him at this point as well. There we go. And he drops Aldrich's Sapphire Ring, which is a ring that I have never worn. Yeah, recovers FP from critical attacks. So what is a critical attack? I always assumed it was like a backstab or something. So you get a little bit of FP regen if you get a backstab or a regen. Or if you hit a backstab or a front like riposte in. I mean, I don't know. It seems like a lot of effort for a little reward that you could get the same way by other means. Alright, let's try and clear out these thralls that are in our immediate area really quick, because we're getting invaded by Longfinger Kirk. He is across the water on the other side right now, so we should be okay for a moment. Is there just two? I know there's one more that's walking along that median. What the fuck? It looked like he was trotting along, like skipping. Ah, here he comes. Alright, we can fight him up here. Whatever. He's not that hard. I hear another thrall, and I know he's gonna drop down at like the worst time. And he has the thorn armor as well, so make sure you are embered and get his invasion and kill him if you want the thorn armor, and his sword and shield as well. So alright, so let's go out and kill the thrall that was on this like little median area. Don't worry, this muck does not poison you. So we're gonna head out the muck. Let's make this a little bit quicker and equip our quick step knife. And we'll head out towards the door. And here's the large titanite shard from the giant. Oh, and 4 dung pies. Wow, must have been constipated. Should be 2 doors, a homeward bone, and another shitty weapon. And by saying that, I'm not saying like another, like all weapons are shitty. It's one of the shitty weapons, so it's another one that we're picking up at this point. I believe it's the Saint Bident, or yeah, Bident. It's like the it's like a spear with 2 pokey-ins. And that's it. Nothing else here. It's all blocked off. there's nothing to even look at, or I mean, I guess get another perspective of the broken bridge there. Alright, head back in, continue along the left side of the muck to get the rest of the items. The maiden set. Alright, we're gonna end up with another Cathedral Knight and Thralls at the same time. The Thralls just complicate things so much. It'd be so much easier without them here. I was hoping he'd be walking the other way at this point. I wanna lure the Thralls away and kill them, and then take on the Cathedral Knight when he's by himself. Use a throwing knife. There we go. And the Thralls and the Cathedral Knight can both be poisoned by the poison that the statues spew out as well. So you can use that to your advantage. Alright, now when he gets up, he should just keep... Oh, shit. Nope. I'm waiting for him to block. Get him. Ah, I didn't get in there in time. There we go. See? Works like a charm. And their armor set is extremely good. The Cathedral Knight's armor set, so good. It's really heavy, but the gloves are probably one of my favorite gloves. They have really good stats on them. One of the best sets of gloves in the game. Okay, so what I just did, I hit the lever and initiated this gate here. It seems like they put them there to help you deal with the giants, because you can lure the giant away and you can lock them behind the gates and yada yada yada. I don't know. I haven't really messed around too much with it. It seems like takes quite a while. It seems like a waste of time. I'd rather just fucking kill them. But to initiate an NPC encounter that we absolutely want to have, it kicks off the beginning of a storyline that ends in a Titanite slab. So we're gonna pull all the levers to get all the gates up. There's just 2 at this point, but there's 3 altogether in the whole place. And right here is the pathway to the next shortcut. I skip over it at this point. If you're having a tough time, by all means, initiate the shortcut and come back. I'm going to go to it later, though. Because, like I said, trying to do as little backtracking as possible. So, right over here to the left is a big empty space. There's no items, no enemies. I'll pull this lever to get this gate up, and now we're going to deal with this giant. This one's a little closer up. So you can stand back and shoot him with arrows if you'd like, and he'll kick up the muck that he's in and throw it at you, or you can just head on in and attack his feet. Which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my fire broadsword though. That way I can deal with these guys at the same time. Because in this mucky area here, there's a bunch of the slimes. So when you're fighting the giant, he'll be stomping around and shit, and he kills these slimes as well. So what I find works is God damn it, get out of my way. Is to stay behind him as much as you can. And just keep getting your hits in on his feet and stay behind him and roll when he does a stomp or whatnot. But I'm staying in between his legs and staying to the back side of him. Ah, come on. I'm focusing on killing him, but if I have a chance to attack the slimes, I'm taking that opportunity as well. Because their attacks will stun you for a moment, which can lead to you taking heavy damage from the giant. And inside this muck, the items I'm picking up is the Drang armor set, and then off into the side of the area, amongst all the corpses piled up over there, is the Drang weapon, the dual hammers. All right. It's a little more difficult to come in here and face them like that. So if you have the patience, by all means, just shoot them with arrows and dodges throwing attack. So I picked up another Pale Tongue, and we got the Drang hammers. They're a pretty good weapon, honestly. I mean, you don't see them in PvP a lot, so it's not all that great there, but they're a lot of fun to use. I think it's a really cool moveset, honestly. Like the weapon art, it's really satisfying to just to beat the shit out of someone with 2 fucking hammers. Alright, so as you can see, there's a new Cathedral Knight standing up with a gigantic Cathedral Knight sword. He is a fucking monster. I fucking hate him. So we're not gonna attract too much attention. We're gonna stick to the wall here. Oh, got a drop. Nice. Stick to the wall and walk around. Stay on the edge of the area to not attract any attention. We're not missing out on any items or anything up there, so just stick to the edge, up against the wall, and we're gonna head into the very first doorway we come to on the left, which is an elevator going up. And so here's the main doors that we passed by when we first came up on the building. Right past that first Grave Warden with the twin blades that we fought. And as soon as we open these, this is going to initiate the NPC encounter that we have. Take a look at the way everything looks right here. So, and you can hear it too when you open the doors. The third gate will come up as soon as we open these doors, because the NPC is going to appear and hit the switch to raise up the third gate. And if you listen very carefully, the door makes a lot of noise, but you can hear the lift gate. You can kind of hear the grinding of it right before I started opening the doors. And since we have these open, let's see if we can get that sword really quick. Head right out here to kill this guy. I really want these swords. Damn it. Hey, look at that. I fucking got him. I'm really surprised. Usually it takes me a few tries to get those. That's really cool. I'm happy as fuck. And those, so The Graveborn Twin Blades, like I said, they're an extremely good bleed weapon. They're very fast. They're basically like the Sellsword Twin Blades, but they're really cool looking and they have high bleed. They work extremely well on Ludix Gundyr, Champion Gundyr, same person, just different times that you fight them pretty much. They work really well on the Dancer. Anything that takes a lot of bleed damage, they've worked just really, really well on. So, but yeah. Alright, so here's the NPC that lifted the lift gate. Let's run over here and grab this item before we talk to him. There it is, the dual charms. Those are the gold colored ones. And you should be able to tell right away this isn't what it looks like.
Well, you look reasonably sane. I am a knight of Katarina. I've managed to track down this cathedral's store of treasure. It's right over there, across that narrow part. Treasure. Always so close, yet so far.
Yet so far.
I'm in quite a pickle, indeed.
Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious that he is not who he says he is. So this is a good friend of ours that you should all be very familiar with if you've played the previous Dark Souls games. So we exhaust the dialogue, and he was so kind to open up this gate so we could head across, because from what he says, there's some great treasure across. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we get.
Shame on you, you greedy guts.
Greedy guts, huh? That says you insatiable wench.
Thought you could outwit an onion. Well, say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors.
Yep, our good buddy old Patches. And if we had not have killed, I believe it's the first giant that we run into, not the second one, but I don't remember for sure. While you're still heading down and standing on the lift gate, he'll walk over and just start swinging on you while you're on your way down. And if you fall, you die. If you get hit by him, you die. It's actually pretty intense. Alright, so that completes this area of the cathedral so far. We're gonna head straight over to the second shortcut and open it up. In my mind, that's always like the bulk of the cathedral. So like, it's like completing like the main part of the cathedral, and now we're gonna head over and do the rest of it. So we skipped the doors on the right and took the doors that were straight ahead. Hit the bonfire. And before we go back into the shortcut, let's head out the main doors over to where the well is and talk to another friend of ours.
Hello? Hello? Anyone there? Oh, I know that voice. It's me, Siegfried of Katarina. I'm loath to admit someone's. Did you happen to... Oh, not me?
So we'll eventually run back into Patches, and he'll kiss our ass and apologize. We'll buy the armor, and we'll come back and give it to Sigurd so we can get out of the well. If you're in New Game Plus, if you're in New Game Plus, you should have a set of his armor. Do not throw the set that you have from the last playthrough down to him. It will mess up the way this NPC interactions are supposed to go. It'll screw up the quest line basically. So just when he asks if you've seen his armor, say no. and if you talk to him again, choose do nothing. Do not throw the set that you already have down. You have to buy the set from Patches first, and then give it to him. Alright, so up the elevator that we just went in, around up the ladder, to this docile enemy that does absolutely nothing. I don't understand his whole purpose in this game. He has more HP than the other deacons. And when he dies, you automatically get a ring. There's no explanation what the hell that's about. I don't know. He's in the bell tower, whatever that means. And you can just drop right down onto the ramp here. We got a thrall coming up on the side. Yeah. To the left, you can see him from here, and there's one of those guys with the great axes. There's nothing over there. You don't need to go over and fight him. There's no reason to, unless you're a new game +2. If you're a new game +2, there is the Ring of Favor +2 over there in that little area. So we'll head off to the right. Take care of his buddy the halberd undead. Let's see. Alright, so at the end of the ramp there's a thrall, no item. Skip that, there's nothing that way. The next ramp that goes down, no thrall, but there is an item. That will be the arbalest crossbow. It is the best single shot crossbow in the game. Well, at least in my opinion. I'm pretty sure as far as the numbers go, it is the best one. I mean, the Avalon is freaking awesome. It shoots 3 at a time, but like I said, for a single shot, the arbalest is the best. We got a few more thralls to deal with. I think it's another tongue at the end, right here. I'm not sure. I'll grab it. Yep, one more pale tongue. Alright, so that should give us, what, 3? Yep, 3. And go over a couple of these, and we'll get an entrance into the rafters of the cathedral. We're gonna want to use a bow. It is very difficult to fight things while on these rafters. If you fall off, you die, period. Even if you have the Silver Cat ring that you take no fall damage, you'll still die. So we're gonna try and hit what we can from a distance, and pretty much every time they'll run off the edge. So you just want to shoot an arrow into them to aggro them, and then watch them run off the ledge. There should be 3 thralls. I don't see another one. I know there's another one on to the right. I thought there was one over here. Alright. Oh, fuck it. Alright, we'll get the thrall on the right hand side then. See, this one comes straight at you though, so do a couple of shots into him. Oh, headshot. Let's see if we can get this guy to run off the ledge. Yep. Didn't hear his footsteps anymore. There he goes. Yeah, it looks perfect. Alright, and right over here is the first blessed gem you can get in the main game. Of course, we already got one blessed gem out of the DLC. And if you didn't know, I absolutely used it. I am wearing a blessed cestus. Alright, so we got 2 more Cathedral Knights coming up. We only need to take care of one of them, and that would be this first one here. And say goodbye. Alright, let's put the bow away. Okay, now we want to be careful. The last Cathedral Knight over there has a crossbow. The crossbow has like a bigger impact on you than regular crossbows do, and if you get hit by it, it can knock you off of the rafters here. So we're just gonna be very careful, and we're gonna so we're gonna head over and we're gonna drop down onto that ledge that's where my head is looking at, and then drop down one more into like that box, like that spot with the guardrails right there. And as we come up, don't get hit by the arrows, and time your drop so that, because he's gonna keep shooting at us after we drop. When we hit, if the drop is far enough that it lowers your HP down quite a bit, and he hits you with the crossbow while you're still going through the animation of getting up from the drop, it'll fucking kill you. It is infuriating. Okay, so we're ready to do the drop, and go. Make sure to miss that crossbow, and drop again. Alright, we're good. And so here's Patches, as well as one of these giant worm maggots, whatever they are. Let's raise up the lift gate, and then we'll talk to Patches.
I'm Patches. You seem to be do you have business?
Yep.
Oh, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. Oh, regrettable. Truly. Look at you. Not a scrag. All's well that ends well. Yes. Just...
Okay. And now that you're into his store, I guess, you're able to buy the items from him. Make sure that you buy the Catarina set. You do not have to buy the shield. Just buy the armor set. And we'll give that to Sigurd down in the well. And while we're here, I'm going to load up on some rusted coins. While I'm here, yeah, should be plenty. A few extra of the red bug pellets. Fire damage is probably one of the more common damage types that enemies use in the game, so out of all the bug pellets, it's probably best to carry the red the most. The black fire bombs are really good. We'll get let's do 15. There we go, 10 and 10. And I'm not gonna worry about those. I want some poison arrows. The poison arrows are really good. You can poison dragons, poison a lot of enemies that are difficult to beat. I mean, the only ones that come to mind right now are dragons. Get the dragons poisoned and then just keep shooting arrows at them. For the ones like in Dragon's Peak and whatnot, it makes it way easier to deal with them when their HP is constantly going down. That should be good.
Thanks, sweetie.
Alright, we're not going to go across the lift gate yet. Let's head up through the doorway and around, and then straight back to kill the worm with the staff here at the end. We get our first red soapstone. And open up these doors. And in here is Rosaria. And a bonfire. Now, oh, and the Armor of Thorns. If you fought Longfinger Kirk, this is his armor set right here. The Armor of Thorns, basically, if you have it on, when you roll, you give people damage if you hit them while you're rolling, and it stacks. So if you just have the gauntlets on, you'll do like 1 or 2 hit points worth of damage. If you have all the armor on, you'll do more damage per roll. And Rosaria is a Covenant person. So you can join the Covenant. When the game initially came out, you could not join the Covenant at all without screwing up Sirius questline. But they patched it and changed it. So you can join the Covenant, but if you offer her a pale tongue or equip the Covenant sign, and I'm not sure if you equip it and then that's that, or if you have to equip it and actually invade somebody or not. Either way, I wouldn't even mess with it, but definitely don't give her a pale tongue through that. You can still reallocate your attributes though, without pissing off Cirrus. So you can switch your stuff around however you want. Right now, you're allowed to do that 5 times per new game cycle, and it costs 1 single pale tongue each time you do it. You can also go back into the character menu to change your appearance. You get all of the options that you did at the very beginning of the game of creating a character. So just don't give her any pale tongues the regular way to level up in the Covenant, and do not equip the Sign of Rosaria Covenant item into your Covenant slot, and you should be good. We will eventually do all that though. We're going to finish Sirius's quest line, and then we'll tackle what there is to do with Rosaria's Covenant. So we're going to head back out and go across the bridge that Patch has opened up for us. Just keep going up the stairs. I mean, this should all look familiar. We're going to go right past the doors. See, this is the best spot to farm the grave wardens, Rosaria's bonfire, and then run through the doors and kill the grave warden if you want that weapon or their armor set or whatnot. Oh, and just FYI, I'm heading to the boss right now. I guess maybe I should have said that sooner. So if you needed to head to Firelink Shrine and take care of anything before we go do the boss, it'd definitely be a good time to do that. So we gotta take care of these guys first. This boss isn't particularly hard, so God, I hate this fucking guy. And nothing from him. Fucking. Alright, so we cleared out this room, and on the other side of this pillar, this fucking crazy shit right here, coming up out of the floor, is the door to the boss. In this playthrough, I'm just gonna summon Oh, I can't even use this without being online. That sucks. I want to summon as many NPCs as I can. Alright, so for this fight, you can summon Horus the Hushed, you can summon Anri, and you can summon Cirrus, whatever you want to call her. Your choice. You can summon all three with the dried finger, but I can't use it, so I'm gonna summon Horus for sure, because his weapon is great for handling crowds. I feel like I should summon Anri because they're buddies, but yeah, because Cirrus uses like an S-stock, and that's just straight poking. I think a straight sword from Anri would be much better. And of course, when you summon help, it makes the boss a little bit more difficult. And before we head in, they do use fireballs as an attack. Alright, so this boss is, it's like a group encounter. It's going to be a whole bunch of the deacons all at once. They'll hit you as well as shoot fireballs at you. There's big fat ones that use the miracle that blasts you off your feet. Damn it, I can never think of the name of anything while I'm doing these. There will always be one single deacon that you need to attack. It's pretty clear. The first half he has like a red aura with him. The second half it's like it's a very specific deacon that doesn't change. So get a couple of buffs going and let's head in. So right away, the one dead center has that red stuff on him. He's the only one you really need to do. Fuck you. I like to clear some of them out as I go to make it a little bit easier for the people I summoned. Alright, now I'm gonna focus on just the one that needs to die. It's much more manageable after you clear a bunch of them out. Alright, now here it changes. The one with the staff that is taking the damage does not change at this point. If you let it go on too long, they send up the black masses up into the ceiling of the area, and over time it builds up and will start raining down curse on you. So if you take too long or don't do any attacking on them, eventually you'll get cursed and die. That's the first time I've actually seen them heal. So they can heal as well. And I'll just throw on the items that give you more souls at the end to multiply what I can get. Alright, so that was the boss. Before we go, sit at this bonfire, and when you get back up, you get the Archdeacon set. And if you do want the Cathedral armor set, or the Cathedral weapons, which is the Great Mace, the Cathedral Great Shield, and the Cathedral Great Sword, Cathedral Knight Great Sword actually. You can get all those items from this bonfire running back up into here and killing the 2 Cathedral Knights. It's definitely worth it. Great set. We'll head over to the Cleansing Chapel and we'll throw down the armor for Sigurd. And then we should be pretty much done. Yes, how in the hell did you get in a well? And the better question is, how does your armor get you out of the well?
Oh, my armor. Deepest gratitude. I, Siegfried of Catarina, salute you.
If he's not wearing his armor, what does he mean by saluting us exactly at this point? Alright, there we go. Give him his armor, and that concludes the Cathedral of the Deep. We're done here. But before we end this playthrough, we got one last thing we want to do since we cleared this area. So we'll head back to Firelink Shrine, and we're going to open up the locked door at the Firelink Shrine up on the right hand side. $18,529. Oh yeah, I forgot about Anri. So after you defeat that boss, Anri and Horace will be at the shrine. Go ahead and talk to him. He just says that Aldrich wasn't there in his coffin, and they're heading into the catacombs of Carthus and to the Boreal Valley to find him. Okay, so I need a few more souls to complete this. There we go. So once you meet Patches and give Sigurd his armor, you can bring Patches to the shrine by buying the key, the tower key.
Ashen one.
I know it's a lot of souls. 20,000 is quite a bit right now. And we'll head up all the way up here, and we'll open up the tower. And don't forget to check the tree for a seed of the giant. So we're gonna pop open the tower. Since we have it open, we might as well kick down the ladder that goes to the crows. Let's see, drop off right here. I'm not gonna bother trading anything quite yet. I'm gonna wait. So we definitely have more items to trade at this point, but might as well just do it all at once. There's nothing that we absolutely have to have right now. Alright, straight back, straight into the elevator. And you can hear the door shut, because we bring Patches into the shrine so he can fuck us over again. And then all the way up at the top here is a Firekeeper soul. You give this to the Firekeeper and it enables her to cure your hollowing completely and take the Dark Sigil completely away. If you do that, it ruins the ending to the Londor ending that we're going for. So we're going to give it to her, but we're never going to have her cure our Halloween. And it's expensive as shit, too, to have her do it.
Sorry, friend. Beat.
Yeah. Now, you can homeward bone and just get out of here and head back to the bonfire that way. The easy way down is on the right hand side. You can see the coffin sticking out from the wall. You just roll down to that and just keep going down on the coffins. It's very safe. On the left hand side is the hard way, but you get the firekeeper's set right down there. It's very tricky. There's not much room to stand on right there, so it's very easy to fall off when you're trying to get down to it, and you will die if you don't do it perfectly. I'll do my best to explain how to get to it. The next boss up that we'll be hitting is the Abyss Watchers. So if you need to die a few more times to finish out the free levels with Yol, this would be a great time to get some deaths in, I suppose. But alright, so we're going to come to the pretty much the end of the walkway right here and just turn at an angle so we're facing the casket, and we're just going to roll towards it. You can also just like run without jumping and just run straight off and go for it, but after all the times that I've tried doing this, I think rolling is probably the easiest way to do it. Let's see. Yeah. So right at the edge. Let's give it a shot. In fact, I'm going to back up just a little bit. Hey, look at that. Made it. Alright, and make sure to heal before we jump the rest of the way down. It's really not that far of a drop, but they have it set so it will kill you. I don't know why it does so much damage, like it's not that high. Anyways, and in the bottom of this tower that we're in, amongst all of these dead firekeepers, oh, what the hell are they doing here? Is the Estus ring. Is this? Yeah, increases HP restored with Estus Flask. Seeing as our Estus Flask is only a +2, that can come in very handy, like if we're going to fight the dancer early, which we will be. I may or may not wear it. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see how it goes. If I can't get a decent amount of healing in with my Estus Flask compared to what she's doing in damage, I'd put that ring on so I could get my health filled up pretty much each time I take a drink. Which can make all the difference, especially if you know, combo it with Lloyd's Shield Ring, so every time you take a drink you fill your HP and your defense would rise up as well. And then, okay, so we got out of the tower and we're gonna head back up the way we went to unlock the door. And around the corner inside the shrine, Patches is hanging out now.
Ah, oh, you're alive.
Oh, imagine
Now,
that.
hold your horses.
Anyways, so talk to him and do not forgive him. That way he bribes you. He'll give you an item to forgive him.
Oh, for heaven's sake, no need to jest with a face like that. You're still alive. Oh,
Which is just a rusted gold coin, but you might as well get what you can out of him. And now he will stay in the shrine, and you can always access his items to purchase.
thanks, sweetie.
And yeah, that should probably do it. That should definitely be the end of the cathedral. I feel like it's probably taken long enough. I know some people are probably saying, I mean, I'm gonna mark these as like the efficient playthrough, but I'm going slow, very slow. I mean, when I'm not stopping to explain things or say which way to go or how to handle stuff, I mean, I go through the game much, much faster. But by stopping and by pointing out which way to go and how to deal with things, I mean, my goal is to show you the proper way of handling an area and the proper way of going in an area, so you're not wandering around or backtracking or figuring stuff out. In turn, making it an efficient playthrough for you. So yeah, hopefully this helped you out. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you for watching my playthrough, sticking with it if you're still here. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one if you're gonna follow it all the way through. Don't forget to get your levels up. Don't forget to burn your bone shards, infuse your weapons, and I don't think I've said a whole lot about you don't forget to go down and fight the Dark Wraith in the High Wall of Lothric either to get your red eye, your full-on red eye, so you don't have to use the shards anymore. Alright, thanks. I'll see you on the next video.